What if there's a different future for us? That's why we're doing this. That is what we're fighting for. I'm counting on you. But you need to know. Things are changing. Please. Just let me show you.
Yeah, you let it go. You sure?
Like, other than Slark, no carry really enjoys playing against Mag. Can't pick Lifestealer or Jug as easily.
You want an SNY builder, generally.
True.
Any hero that buys SNY, it's the ideal way to counter RP and other such AoE, EKB piercing disables. Because there's really nothing else you can do about it other than just making it last 25% less.
I always like the Batten against Mag.
I think that's somewhat of a bait. It depends on the enemy carry.
True.
If the enemy carry is like a Slark, then no, a Batten feels pretty bad. But if it's like Mag plus Jug, I don't mind it.
Yeah, the problem is, I guess, you know, Mag is cool because you always have the ability to just slow things down. Because your carry can get farmed pretty effectively. Meantime, that Abaddon, sure, it's good against preventing an RP initiation, but you don't pressure that carry at all. You're just purely defensive.
Yeah, I want like a Timber. Oh, Timber Saw's banned, so I mean, I honestly think they could consider going Axe first round. I'd be totally down for that. Okay, Tide. Axe Tide. I had this in mind as like a combo breaker.
Yeah.
Some guy that either saves you from the RP or doesn't mind getting RP'd. So Tide Hunter is going to be a body in these fights, and he also has a good lane partner with him so far.
Yeah, I like this because Lena, you get all that attack speed from Fervor, so it takes advantage of the Gush minus armor, and because of the increase, Fiery Soul.
Fiery Soul.
Sorry.
Holding you
5 seconds remaining.
Yes.
It also takes Lena away from Mag, which is a very powerful lane combo.
Yes, agreed. And in addition, Gush is enough of a slow now to hit that increased radius on your LSA. It's quite a simple stun nowadays, actually. It's a ton of fun to play.
Dude, I'm surprised people are not opening more second pick Lena dual lanes. Like, as a carry, what do you pick?
You can always go mid as well. If you really see a great matchup for it, you want to give Lena more farm priority, you just throw it there. And as a matchup, like, Lena can't lose mid with 3 runes by 4 minutes.
Just please tell me what you pick as a carry that wins this lane. Like, terrifying, especially with the minus armor from Tide or like a continuous disable like Slardar or the Mag. I mean, anything like that.
It's a long time to think about this pick here from VP.
And they do just go
Just go for it. All right.
So they're basically sacking their safe lane and saying, like, we have a PA Mag. It's fine. He's not going to have the perfect lane. He can buy some like raindrops and wraith bands and survive the lane and then hit some newts.
And I wonder if this is something that's, you know, would VP consider this a strat or not? Because when we spoke to DM earlier this week, basically said that they were beating everybody by just playing good heroes. Yeah. They didn't really use anything. They'd had some strategies. They were saving for either Spirit, not Navi, but Spirit or the Major. So this is just a straight up first two Mag PA. So they just think it's good and it's like a throwaway draft? Or is this something that they've worked on and just think is too high of a power level right now?
Is it possible with the 3 bans that there's not enough heroes, carry heroes left that you want to run with Mag? Like PA, Juggernaut, the first 2 to come to mind that I would instantly ban, right? Yep. Do you feel like there's too many bans?
A lot of the heroes are pretty underwhelming. For instance, Troll's kind of fallen off this patch. Ursa fallen off. I think Lifestealer's a bait. He's a horrible mag partner because you remove Empower whenever you infest somebody. So I think, yes, the hero pool is incredibly limited, and because you can protect this pick, as Kyle mentioned in the previous series, with so many bans, you'd rather pick it up now and then just protect it rather than see what they ban and go for a mediocre pick later on.
As a matchup, I would have loved Slark, but it's not the greatest mag partner. Troll's all right, but kind of same deal. It's just really poor mag.
Slark is a situational mag partner. He's one that you would pick like 8th because it's the perfect Slark game. You haven't carried it.
Yeah. Mag PA is just good. Like, it just, at some point, it'll work. PA gets 3 items, a free Battle Fury. In theory, you get a quick Deso timing, skipping BF. Valina might just explode. Like, you die in a crit in 2 hits.
This is very straightforward from Virtus Pro. First phase, okay, we're going to take away some of the first pick Iceberg heroes. Doom, Storm. Second phase, all right, we're just going to ban away a bunch of E-Tunes heroes.
Yep.
I think Tide, though, is very nice in lane versus PA. You benefit a lot from the stick charges. Keep in mind that every offlaner will buy stick against PA because of how many daggers are coming out. And you're a hero that doesn't really want to buy like Bottle or Soul Ring early on in the lane, but you also want to be spamming Gush. And since you have the Kraken Shell for the damage mitigation before PX6, she pretty much can't do anything to you.
This is a great Wyvern game. Like, I think as a 5 for Navi, you got a lot of options. Like Wyvern, Abaddon.
Combo breakers.
Yep. You pick something, then
5 seconds remaining.
Do you want to last pick V-Tune's hero? Really not sure. Navi, this is tough to draft as second pick.
Puck.
And they'll just go for
they're gonna last pick. They're gonna last pick V-Tune's hero.
Okay.
I think Puck's fine. Because it's not as much a combo breaker, but it's another hero that's difficult to RP and also controls the PA in fights. He does need the BKB super early on the PA, but
man,
I'm a bit concerned.
I feel like they trust V-Tune's hero pool so much. He's already had 3 heroes banned away from him. He's going to have another 2 by the time he gets the last pick.
That's exactly what I'm concerned about.
They still believe that he's going to have a hero that is going to be good for the game and that that's a lot of trust.
He's going to have to pick a hero that's kind of mediocre against PA. And I think that's fine simply because PA's lane should be a little bit rough, and now they've also drafted the Puck. So if they can draft either one more threat to the PA or a hero that saves the carry from PA, those are the 2 options. But
it's we discussed this a lot about like gold-based damage and XP-based damage. Navi, just by casting spells, they've got plenty of team fight power. You really need time to come online. Void Spirit, it's all right, but you're all about hit and run right now. There's no such thing as a team fight until they have multiple BKBs online.
Is this a Mag 5, you think?
Yeah.
Kind of has to be unless they want to pick first 3 cores.
I feel like you're going to lose that lane really hard, though.
5 seconds
Hi,
remaining.
Lena.
Yeah.
With the
You'd have to get creative, that's for sure.
I'd be all down with it, like a Warlock or something like that for P. Just sustain your PA, man. If they either need to pick a really strong dual off lane to make some space, or they need to pick a hero that just says, okay, we're gonna give the PA a little bit of regen worth of farm in the lane just by healing him up and preventing him from having to ferry out all that extra tangos and salves. Because you're gonna get harassed a lot from a Tide and Alina.
The mag roll, so Tide and Abaddon are traditionally the 2 best offlaners against K Magnus because you have a way of removing the Ravage and then counter-initiating. They were ready for that.
I was kind of thinking Phoenix, so I like what they're going with. I think they have enough control from their 3 first heroes that they're just making it more and more difficult for VP to ever fight them.
Yeah. Comfort.
Yep, and the issue is here, though, is that independently, Virtus Pro's heroes function a lot better. The thing about this draft so far is if Tide gets off to a decent start, which I think he will, I don't see how they kill him for like the first 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if people watching have seen Ice play Tidehunter, but the way he plays is he gets like a decent lane start, and then he just walks to towers and plants himself as aggressively on the map as possible and says, you have to kill me to get to the rest of my team. Otherwise, the thing is, you're getting so much real estate on the map because Tide's taking such ridiculously dangerous farm that you have some hard carry farming the Ancients, you have a mid laner that's like farming the safe lane, and that it just results in like a high net worth advantage for that team. So I'm a bit concerned that they do not have a threat to him now. And it won't happen until PA gets that second item.
You might not need one though, because VP is just running a different concept. It's the +1 style. So you take a core, add a support, they're able to find a kill, and you don't really ever team fight. But Na'Vi, you have to blow ultimates if you want to kill anybody. Assuming you don't just dominate the lanes, which I think is unlikely when you consider VP's prowess as individual skills, individual skill players. They ban out the Drow and the Troll. I think the Drow Ranger, we don't see that hero very often, but that's a sick ban.
It's like nice for the game, but I think it would have struggled in lane with Phoenix. So I was more afraid of the Troll personally, just because they are pretty light on lockdown from VP. I'm just thinking about matchups for them. I would love for Na'Vi a Terrorblade.
What if VP Silencer? No one picks
Silencer.
No, just solid support Silencer, man.
I'm saying 4 or 5.
However you want to
like 4-inch, 5.
You wanted a silence hero. Wouldn't Disruptor be better against Tidehunter? Also, aren't we looking for? Are we looking for a 4 position or a 5?
It's theoretically a 3. Oh, you're saying the Enchantress.
10 seconds remaining.
I'm saying, yeah.
I'm saying that this Enchantress could be either,
5
because
seconds
it's either
remaining.
4 Enchantress, 5 mag, or it's 5 Enchantress, 3 mag. Yeah. So you're either looking for a 4 or a 3 here.
It's a very confident draft from Virtus Pro, I'll tell you that much.
I feel like the Enchantress is 5 because they need that kind of hero. Okay.
Good call there.
Disruptor.
Choose your hero.
Medusa.
Yes.
Well,
kind of like the anti-burst hero, right?
They're going to have a real weak lane top, though. Like Phoenix Medusa against Enchantress 4 position.
Anything they can do to switch things up, swap lanes, aggro, anything like that?
Not really.
Yeah.
So I want the Lina to be with the Tide.
Now, my heart of hearts is looking at Navi's lineup thinking, wow, their team fight's amazing, but they can't do things.
Yeah, I like
they
this one
don't. I liked it up until the Medusa. I don't know what other route, because they didn't have anything that could play around the RP. Now they're just trying to eat it. VP, your team fight's non-existent, but they have so much kill threat. Their top lane's going to do well. I think that with the Disruptor PA, they might just kill this Lina a couple times and just play around the map. Like, how do you actually ever catch them as Na'Vi? How do you push towers? Like, how do you force them to fight you as 5?
In my experience, Medusa just has a horrible start here, and the PA and Medusa will have about an equally bad start. One hero's got a free Battle Fury, the other one doesn't. And I think, sadly, I predicted Na'Vi to win the series, but I think VP's going to take game 1.
Not totally out of it. I think Na'Vi have a better chance than I would expect.
Medusa gets a good start.
VP have to outplay them here, whereas Na'Vi, you just have to execute. Get your Medusa farm, control your Ancients, and force good fights around objectives, mid-tower, Roshan. And in theory, you have a decent shot.
Their lineup is simple, but also exploitable.
Yeah.
Is that kind of what you're saying?
agree.
Big old team fight coming out from Na'Vi. That's the way they're trying to take this approach against Virtus Pro. Let's hop into it. Game 1, it's going to be with Moxie and T. Governor.
All right, T. Well, it seems like this whole game is going to be focused around the Medusa for Na'Vi. But on the flip side of things, you know, Virtus Pro, they've got a fast skirmishing lineup, and that's exactly the way they like to play.
Yeah, that's to play it fast, but to start this game, Na'Vi, the 2 series that they've won so far, it is up the product of playing PA 4 times. They've got 4 wins, 4 PA games. So this is very much VP opening up the draft with we're opening with Mag, and if you do not pick PA, we're just going to take it and steal your best hero, the only hero that they've been able to win with in the DPC. But yeah, like the panel was saying, this is very much VP. Their draft is about pace, about execution, punishing the time that Na'Vi needs to come online, because of course, you look at Na'Vi's heroes, early on, they're not quick to move around the map, other than maybe Puck, and the rest of them, they're big spells, waiting for Medusa to come online. And then when we hit like 30, 35 minutes, that's going to be disastrous for VP. Because the PA trying to get into the fight, you're going to be trying to jump a Phoenix, you who has Egg. Ravage on the Titan
30
Hunter,
seconds
Puck,
to
quite
battle.
elusive. Like the only hero dying in the late game will be this lean. Everyone else will have its own kind of survivability. So it's all on VP to have that pressure, to have that strong laning phase, and to play off of kind of the pace that a 4-position ENG can bring and a Void Spirit mid can kind of unlock in the game.
Feels like the laning stage would be pretty nice though, because if they decide to run, you know, this Medusa with like the Phoenix sort of thing, as they said on panel, it's not particularly strong. It's very punishable.
Yeah, normally when you see Medusa lineups, you like, especially when it's in the safe lane, that is, you like to have a melee support to kind of body and tank up some damage. When you have a support duo that's Lean of Phoenix, whoever lanes with this hero, with the Medusa, it's not going to be a simple, we tank spell, you farm. It's going to be, we both try and poke and trade together. We play off of Snake, we play off maybe LSA or the birds from Phoenix, but yeah, it's not going to be the more traditional Medusa lanes that we've seen. And that is the big room for punishment that VP can look to try and utilize. They don't have that simple 1-2 punch of Medusa +1 lane. We can threaten that.
They do have, you know, it looks like it's going to be the Lina going down to the bottom lane. So they're going to have a plenty amount of harass at the very least. This is definitely a hero that's able to really, you know, throw out those hits, those little clicks there. But of course, they do have save on this Enchantress, and that is going to end up being a bit of an issue, I think, for the side of Na'Vi.
Yeah, for sure. Lina as a hero, it thrives on the fact that it has big attack range. And when you have ENG, sure, there's a 100 range disparity, but because of this crit, he bodies for you, constantly right-clicking that Lina, so you're not going to have that chip from that Lina. And yeah, ENG will be able to happily play this lane.
So my other concern, too, looking at Na'Vi's draft is you have all these great teamfight ultimates, right? You've got, you know, the Ravage, you've got Egg, you've got Dreamcoil, you've got all this stuff. The issue then becomes for me is what happens when you use all of that and then Virtus Pro just starts running at you again?
Just make sure you kill them when you use them. don't
But you're still, they're going to respawn. They're going to be ready to go again.
Yeah,
like that's the concern I have.
Yeah, it's critical that Na'Vi, like again, the concerns that everyone's kind of mentioned, it's simply because there's cooldowns, every time they use it, it needs to be for an objective after. They need to make sure that when they use that Ravage, it gives them a tower. So then VP's kind of in recovery mode. We have to push out our lanes. We're fighting into an Aegis. There's so many other things they have to deal with that they can't just simply reset and go again. And for sure, the key objectives for Na'Vi this game, have a strong laning phase, utilize that jungle, make ancient stacks, take away the first Aegis, and then you have that breath of fresh air that your cooldown driven draft isn't going to be one bad fight and you lose the game.
It's fair for sure. Some trades here coming out here between Roger and Kingslayer. Roger, of course, having that Icarus dive can just run away, but you do have to be careful. Eventually, there will be some points placed over in that glimpse, so has to be very careful with positioning. And trades are just going on here in the bottom lane. Nothing too wild just yet.
Yeah, really nice in the top lane from Kingslayer. He bought the double sentry, blocking the hard camp for Roger's pool, but he also then dewarded his own pool. So if Roger doesn't body block this camp, he's going to be able to start sorting out the lane equilibrium. But yeah, Nightfall, he's just chilling, free farming under the tower.
Mid lane seems fairly well matched up there. 13-1 over on Void Spirit and 14-2 over here on Puck. I don't think we're going to see anything happen though really until perhaps, you know, maybe we see some movement coming out for like the runes eventually, but I feel like we're going to really be waiting for those level 6s.
Yeah, everyone's been talking about how mid lane is so, you know, static nowadays. There's so much regen available. Void Spirit Puck used to be very Void Spirit favored. You're a melee here with the Quelling Blade, you're in wave clear, but yeah, that's going to be a bit of a snooze fest. This though,
this is looking like
that's
first blood.
Yes.
Yeah, so unfortunately, always wanna fly is going to fall to save down here in this bottom lane. And it's like you said, you know, you've got that bit of a range advantage. Top lane to the very, very aggressive here against Ramses. Nightfall, make the jump forward here. They do just a little bit more damage. The dagger comes in and it will secure the kill.
I absolutely love this disruptor pick just because the Tide Hunter early on, you don't have the Kraken points to deal with the Thunderstrike. It's that magic damage, that range to nuke through. And Phoenix, he does apply pressure, but it's cooldown driven. So yeah, Disrupt is such a disruptor. And into the late game, we're going to see that Static Storm. You can't get rid of that as a Tide. Potentially looking at maybe like a BKB purchase on the Tide Hunter if he's the key focus from the target. But yeah, that's later on. But for now, laning phase is very difficult with the dagger spam and Thunderstrike. Yeah, really good disruptor pick for sure.
Is this situation? I know we've been seeing a lot of like the Witch Doctor coming into play, and now we're seeing, you know, more of these things like with the Disruptor with that magic damage.
Yeah.
Are we going to be seeing more of these supports? Do you think that where we're trending currently?
Yeah, I just want to see. I want to see Fives a bit more presence in the laning phase, less sacrifice and more just killing presence. And it obviously does help when you're able to save your last pick or like the later picks for your support. Some teams traditionally they sacrifice supports in the draft to give their world star mid laner a better game or their off laner. But it's refreshing sometimes to see a support pick last.
I like it. I'm a support player.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, yeah.
I think it's great when you get a bit of priority here. But this wild thing with the tornado is already causing a little bit of issues. The skewer back over here onto V2. They're just plunking away, though. Not going to be able to do any kills just yet here to this Medusa, but definitely trying to apply as much pressure as possible and create a little chaos.
Yeah, the key thing here is who's winning the lane well enough that the support can then retreat to make the stacks in the jungle. Always want to fly, he'll never be able to leave this lane. And that's what potentially on the ENG makes an aggressive play, quickly resets, start making the stacks, and that's the efficiency of the map right now. We'll be seeing that in the next couple of minutes potentially. Yeah, Ramses, every time he steps up to this lane, you're going to be tanking a level 2 Thunderstrike and dagger spam. Sure, he has the stick, the ring of health now, but it's just a little bit too much damage to deal with.
There's the Icarus dive here on Roger. Should be fine here.
Yeah.
Thinking about it? Just faking him out a little bit.
He has to be very careful simply because of the glimpse potential from Kingslayer as well.
Bottom lane again, a little bit more pressure placed and always want to fly. And normally I would say, with a Tide Hunter, you can leave this hero alone in the lane, right? But because they do have that magic damage, it's just too difficult for Ramses. Because usually, Roger can be able to rotate. And if you do see that Roger is trying to, make some of these moves over here, probably trying to do a bit of stacking and whatnot.
Yeah, this is critical. He has to be, okay, not stacking Ancients though, Roger. Would have preferred that, but opting to try and just make one stack secure the rune. But I feel right now, Ancient stacks are so important because VP, it's not like they have this tower pressure in their draft. They're going to play around maybe the Ench creep and a catapult wave, but it's not that clean, we have X level, we can hit your tower. So I'd like to see Na'Vi just make stacks to pressure that kind of, you can't hit our towers, you can't really invade our jungle. Medusa, in 4 minutes time, will just be rinsing the jungle, and that's when their timing kind of comes into play.
All right, well, we do have the level 6 online here for Iceberg and for GK, so... What
Tune is just getting, yeah.
He's getting down.
Anything he shows now, it's then the shockwave. It's very hard for him to play this lane. Already being back to base level 4 on the Medusa compared to the level 6 of the and not a good start from the Medusa. And it's a 5 being that.
So what's the play here? Do you have Iceberg make rotation and try to alleviate some of this pressure down here, or do you stop? What do you?
I think
are they trading off here in the middle?
Much happening to Radiant's bottom tower.
It's been awesome to try and get Medusa into the as quick as possible. Puck starts maybe they don't really have kill threat.
Here we go. There's the rotation here from Iceberg as he goes. There's out the Dream Coil here. It's taking a decent amount of time, but eventually they take out save.
Okay.
So there's a bit of breathing room. Middle lane though.
Vitu goes to any lane, he's just half, like no matter half HP. And this was a concern with the Puck rotation, because as soon as Puck moves bottom, sure you're killing the Enchantress, but like you're not pressuring DM who's the free farmer, and then Medusa can't just simply take up your lane because it's a level 4 Medusa. And yeah, it's going to be a troublesome couple of minutes now trying to get the Medusa to get into the game. But again, the jungle's so thrown nowadays. You got a Quelling Blade, couple Wraith Bands. She just won't be seen. But it does open up a free lane because no one can realistically play bottom now. That's kind of the big concern for Na'Vi, and where VP can look to potentially exploit that.
GPK possibly hunting here and always want to fly. Knows that there's not much mana. Neither is there on V2 though. A save, circling the tower, throwing out a bit of the taunt here. You have, of course, Iceberg on the high ground. It's a bit of posturing, but there's some nice stacks over here made by Roger. And they have to protect these. They can't allow anybody to come in and steal them. And definitely, you've already seen V2 making his way over. He's going to try to put the pressure down. They don't have vision, luckily, on the side of Virtus Pro, so should be able to take these stacks without being bothered.
That's good, and that's where Na'Vi have realized there's no kind of clean invasion. Maybe Void Spirit and Enchantress could have played together to invade here, but Na'Vi going unpunished. Disrupted also got a D-ward at the start. He pushed out of mid. This is the efficiency of the tri-camp coming into play now. The comeback mechanic.
Bottom lane, Roger doing the best he can, trying to take some of this farm. Does have to be careful, obviously. Got DM cutting some of these waves. You've also got, of course, the Enchantress making her way down. You're seeing a big rotation, actually. It's mirroring, to be fair.
This is nice. This is nice because what happens is the PA, the natural pressure from the puck will be, well, what is so sacrificed? We need to take this top tower. VP identify that, instantly move to bottom. Roger. One of the few heroes that can maybe survive on the infestations with the dive. Why can you still go off the map? I don't know. Doesn't really matter. It wouldn't have changed anything here, but yeah, just nice mirroring moves. Unlocked both safe lane towers from both teams, and now the map split goes from that simple diagonal from Radiant to Dire to more of like a vertical through the middle. Each of them will be sharing the Ancients and a little bit of their opponent's jungle. But just nice solid moves coming out from both teams here. Just farm efficiency. Both drafts, they need a little bit of time to come online. Puck wants to get maybe like the Witchblade or a Blink Dagger. Medusa realistically needs Manta Butterfly or Manta Skadi pretty quickly. And then that's when we're going to see the two teams really kind of clashing at each other.
I don't know. I feel like we're going to see some clashing coming through in the mid lane fairly soon because each of the safe lane towers have been removed. And
I'll be doing a good job at invading the stacks here, actually. Because VP rotated to bot lane, it freed up the stacks that VP had made, and they just got stolen away. So right now, this camp stack indicator is pretty much all going towards Na'Vi. VP helping them out a little bit there.
Gotta be very happy about that.
Yeah.
Na'Vi.
And that's kind of the difference when your Magnus is position 3 to 5. The utilization of the Empower comes in a little bit later.
Oh, we just got to pick off on Always Want to Fly. Not sure which lane that was going on in there, but...
And now you get to see Nightfall. He gets to come to his off-lane Magnus. Please give me Empower. Bye-bye now. I run back to my tri-camp.
But they do have vision. They do realize exactly where this Phantom Assassin is, which is nice. So they can play around this a bit. And I'm sure they expect this as well, that they would make this rotation.
Yeah, for sure. Na'Vi's best play is to completely ignore the farming patterns, just because if they kind of fall victim to chasing the PA will always farm during this absence. Medusa won't get the farm. You'll start wasting your big cooldown. So yeah, it's on Na'Vi to accept that farm's occurring, quickly flash farm as much as possible, and then when VP gets the Desolator on PA and they make that big first move to an objective, be ready. Have the egg, have the Ravage, have the coil, crush them in that fight, and then it opens up that game for Medusa to continue farming. But if they don't win that fight, this could easily become a snowball effect of the empowered PA running around with the team fight of the Disruptor and Magnus. Here's the smoke up from Virtus Pro. They don't have the Desolator on PA. He is completely committed to farming right now.
Looking to make a step here over on Ramses. They just finished up that Yules on GPK. The follow-up with the Static Storm. And one more hit should be able to do the trick. Can they do it, though? It looks like yes. At the last of the fight. It's not the end. GPK's... They just run out. But all the time... LSA. They turn back around, trying to heal, trying to get a little bit more damage. Impetus coming in hot, followed up. Oh, there it is. There's the RP from DM. They want Roger, and by God, they're gonna get it. As now Iceberg forced to run and flee. And GPK, he wants this though. He's gonna set up, gets the taunt, the drag back, and see you later, Iceberg.
Oh, one by one they go in, and then one by one they die. Ramses, then the pause. So they can reflect on these events. Oh, we get a replay. Oof. Yeah, so at the start of that fight, Tidehunter instantly dies. They don't have any catch to, punish VP retreating.
What did you
PA's in the area. Instantly comes back in. You have all this range damage, non-committal, impetus dagger. Nice RP just to kill off the Phoenix. And yeah, it's Na'Vi. They have the big spells. It looks good on paper. But when your Ravage dies instantly, that's the big lockdown. When you don't have the coil or an effective coil to pair with the egg, it's just whiff spells. For Na'Vi, they are just completely run over. And this was key because it was a pre-Desolator fight from the PA. That isn't even her at her strongest. There's a Desolator coming out now for the Phantom Assassin.
I thought for like a split second there that Ramses was going to survive. Like he was very, very close there at the last second.
3-1 charges, so maybe.
That's a little...
Didn't use them there, Moxie.
Normally I'm the one that's very, very optimistic. It's nice. It's refreshing to have someone else here who's, also trying to look on the bright side, perhaps, maybe. But at the same time, we do have that Deso on in here for Nightfall. So it's looking a little bit scary. I'm sure Always Want to Fly. He doesn't want to be seen anywhere near that PA. He is going to just get absolutely blown up. Lena is supposed to be able to do that. So
the saving grace of this mid-engagement was the fact that Medusa AFK in the triangle once again. PA farmed 2 camps compared to the Medusa farming an Ancients 2 camp and a lane. Top net worth now with 4 minutes ago. This was a Medusa who was sitting at 5th or 6th net worth. So we're going to be seeing having a happy time. The rest of the team, not so much, and that's where this next fight, this is so critical. We have to see Na'Vi use their big spells because VP is so threatening with this timing they have.
Well, that's a concern that I have here is, yes, Medusa is sitting very pretty on the top, but you have the 3 heroes over on the side of VP that are sitting a hair taller than whatever is coming out from the side of Na'Vi. So
Not much good
while you have one
happening to
hero that's
Radiant's
farming,
bottom
it's a lot
tower.
of pressure on Medusa, right? Especially because she has not hit that peak timing here. Iceberg, though, might be able to find a nice quick little pick off here. There's Kingslayer. Okay, they'll use the Laguna Blade. They just want to get rid of them.
But then instantly VP rotate to the mid lane to punish the Medusa.
Taunt in, and they have all the damage necessary. They just get rid of V-Tune.
If we click on Medusa right now, didn't have Mana Shield active. Unfortunately, that's how quickly she fell.
Radiant's top tower has looked
Yeah.
better.
No, they're the ones instigating the initial smoke. They were moving to the bot lane. And then, yeah, see here, no Mana Shield
Radiant's
active.
top tower
dear.
is
Just
attacked.
100 to 0, used up into an instant stun. There's just no time to get it off. Just wasn't ready for that engagement.
So much burst damage. Oof, didn't even have a chance.
And Kingslayer tipping him because it's like, why are you running out of Mana Shield, bro? Come on. Rule 1 on Medusa, always have Mana Shield up. Always. But yeah, VP, very fluid movements, capitalizing on one death from the pos 5, instant TP mid, kill whoever shows.
That pesky little kobold just denied the rune there from Ramsey. Gotta be feeling pretty good. He is this little speedy one too, you know?
That's one of the
Gotta go fast.
that's the underrated thing of Enchantress, right? It's having that creep, having that additional vision and finding out what's happening. And sometimes you do sneak a little old rune kill.
I do like, I feel like especially in the Eastern European region, we're seeing a lot of focus on vision. Especially like, the first thing that comes to mind is like Windstrike. Windstrike has like really fantastic warding position. You started to see it a little bit in some of the Team Spirit games. And then, especially with VP picking up the Enchantress or whatnot, like they put a lot of focus on just choking out the map, which I feel is very important, but we don't see it held in the same esteem, I feel like, in some of the other regions.
I feel like just the pace of Eastern European Dota is a little bit slower than everyone else. When VP is arguably the best team in the region and they play at such a slow pace, which is very reactionary, naturally the trickle-down effect is all the other teams try and emulate that. And 60 minutes into a game, it's only 10 kills. And that allows for this vision game to occur because when there's not constant ping-ponging around the map deaths occurring, the 5 position's like, oh wait, I have time to actually go place an aggressive ward. And on the flip side, Na'Vi, really good job in the bottom side of the jungle, instantly dewarding any of the aggressive vision that VP just placed. So yeah, both teams doing a really good job at preventing this aggressive vision.
This puck is getting closer to a blink dagger too, so perhaps we will see some more aggressive plays coming out because they do need to make space for the Medusa. Again, she's sitting fairly nicely here, just a little bit below the PA, 8.9 on PA, 8.6 on Dusa, but the rest of the team falling pretty far behind over on the side of Na'Vi.
Yeah, the key, Na'Vi's positioning it. Puck was going to go for a quick blink, but then instantly went for the boots of travel, just knowing that we don't really need to fight, need to keep the game going. So Puck's off all by herself, split pushing lanes. Ramsey's the tide hunter, he's out there in the open. If you want to go on me, you kill me, but I might be able to turn it around with a Ravage. And then the other supports, they're just holding Medusa's hand now. They're just walking around the map, they're just looking at, come on, come from the lane. If they go on you, we're all ready. And that's just a nice setup from Na'Vi to enable the Medusa, but it is very much a sacrifice. Look at the net worth. It is Medusa versus the world. She played a little bit bottom, and then after laning phase, that tri-camp is her home.
Well, baby steps out into the wild now. Again, she does have her own escort with her the entire time. So you can tell, this middle tower is sitting pretty low here.
Yeah, just the way that Na'Vi, just the level disparity. It's Medusa up at 14, Puck tied her at 11, and then VP on the flip side is 14, 13, 13. It is just the cores are having much more freeing individual game compared to that of Na'Vi. A lot of hand-holding for them.
I know that they don't have GPK here, so they're trying to just force the advantage, trying to use that Ravage, right, to their...
We've not seen one yet.
No?
We'd like to see one, at least.
Can they set up, though, is the question. As they jump in immediately over onto Ramsey's Kingslayer, getting into position here, not going to be able to quite land that kinetic field. And you can feel they just don't really want to commit. They get a Dream Coil off, and they do get the silence up, though, here over onto Ramsey. They're going to try to blow him up before he can get that Ravage off. Over on the back lines, though, the stun comes out, and they use that Stone Gaze. The kill off Roger, though. Followed up, there it is. There's our Ravage, but it doesn't do much of anything as Ramsey's full down. Each two here, all the back high, they have the RP, and they have plenty of damage here. So chasing after Puck, the toss back there, right happening. He's being controlled. And now Iceberg also will just get slain by GPK. Or Safe, rather, with the last hit.
I'm just Na'Vi. Oh, they got all the big spells, but
Radiant structures
just can't use them.
fortified.
It's just so
Radiant's
unfortunate when they're
middle
playing
tower
into
could
this
use
disruptor.
some
They're
help.
scared. Like Ramsey's like, well, I don't want to just RP this one guy. I want to have a little
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
holds it, and then it's just a little bit too late. This Phoenix egg, he dives in, but he gets hit by Static Storm, so it's now a lot more defensive than needed. Na'Vi just showcasing, you might have all the team fight in the world, but when you can't cleanly go Coil, Egg, Ravage, Medusa, right click, the fight is so hard with the poke and prod. Like the start of that engagement, Tidehunter was at half HP just from impetus and daggers, and yeah, it's so hard for Na'Vi to move to the objective right now, unless they just have the blind confidence of just go in. Like, this is the start of the engagement. Tidehunter, he's already half HP. He keeps looking for the Ravage,
Not much good
but he's like, maybe not. Puck starts to fight. Static Storm, because now look how defensive these spells are being used. They have to disengage from the Static Storm, and at this point, it's too hard. V-Tune is unable to get the Stone Gaze onto the PA, and the whole fight construct from Na'Vi's collapsed. The Ravage is like just a desperation Ravage. V-Tune, you know, he tried to mount a dodge, but DM did cancel, and then again. Yeah, Na'Vi, unfortunately, just not being decisive with their spells.
I mean, it's like a very talented bunch of musicians, right? Everybody's got, you know, that is not the face of a happy iceberg. Meanwhile, in the middle lane, Ramses will fall. But yeah, you've got all this talent. It's just all the talent, all the heroes to make something happen. But if everybody's playing at a different time, if one's a little bit too early or a little bit too slow, the whole song's going to be off, right? Bottom lane, Iceberg just gets picked up here by GPK. The tips are King's there. About to jump over there, coming out from Nightfall. Loves always want to flip back here on Roger. Not sure where we went there, but Roger is going to survive.
Yeah, so he got glimpse back, but still had to dive up, so he's all okay. And whew, yeah, Na'Vi's somewhat crumbling a little bit now. You can see on Iceberg's face in that kind of highlight there, he just wasn't too happy with that. And until they made this game tied. Normally, he's going for the press. I should play now. This game. Now we get to watch how Puck v Void Spirit. Puck does die quite a lot.
He's got no defensive items.
Yeah,
How is he supposed to survive that?
Positioning. Don't be there. No.
It's that easy. Just listen
Please.
to T-Gov, guys.
No, but yeah, for Na'Vi, it's a little bit worrisome in how they're approaching the fights right now. It's just, I think if Tide had a Blink Dagger, was able to play in the tree line, that's a lot easier because it's the fear of the Static Storm right now, and it's the fear of the preventing Na'Vi to have the clean situation.
Radiant structures
Someone
are
to be
fortified.
in the words of Brian or Carl, whoever started into that.
All those NA guys, they all sound the same. Am I right?
You're so right, Marty. But yeah, you need the Dangler. And
Right.
Tide being the Dangler, when there's a disruptor in the game, you just don't dangle efficiently. You can't get Ravage
No, you
off.
can't.
And if Medusa's the Dangler, already gonna be half HP, half mana before the fight's even starting. So yeah, they are lacking the initiation even when they have the team fight.
Right, VP, they're on the hunt. They're smoked up. And they've got V-Tune in their sides here. The Manta already getting popped. Ooh, that's going to come back to bite you, my friend. Static Storm, everything here as they just start chipping away at that. Oh, there's no mana left. There's nothing there to say, V-Tune. Just a nice, clean strike. A hit and run, so to speak. Na'Vi, they're playing. Enemy they're scared here. Kingslayer is getting chased here by Ramses. They have the Icarus dive, the swoop. GPK, though, they're here. Roger, the glimpse back, though, over here on the side. This is looking like this is going to end up being a dead Tidehunter. So another couple of hits, and he is a tanky boy. He's got a little, oh, never mind. Not with Nightfall just jumping in. And Safe's Courier, though, does get sniped by Always Wanna Fly. So, silver lining. Right.
Another silver lining, they stole the Ancient camp. But yeah, Na'Vi, they tried to aggressively hold this Tri camp. All four of them there, bar Medusa. VP with really nice smoke to cut through and just go, maybe someone's being greedy. Oh wait, they are, because they had that ward in the bottom side of the jungle to find Medusa farming there. Unfortunately, it's
a vision game.
Yeah, a vision game on point, and just Na'Vi just every single time it's one little piece of the puzzle is just not working effectively. And with this type of lineup that is so, critical that each spell is using conjunction, and the Medusa is enabled to right click. When one of them falls apart, it's disastrous. And yeah, VP are just, ever since this PA got Desolator, every smoke has netted good kills and efficient plays. And yeah, just props to VP so far with their fluid play.
Radiant's bottom
Navi,
tower
what are we looking
is
for in
no
combat?
more.
It's, I guess, play for the tier 3, the high ground defense. That's where VP's lineup, it will struggle a lot breaking into the base unless they pick off a hero outside of the base, maybe like a puck split pushing. You kill puck, no buyback. That's where VP will be able to really unlock the high ground. Or
Hello,
free Phoenix
Roger.
Fish, yeah.
That is chicken dinner easily.
Top tower.
Yeah, you know, that, like you said, having them go into high ground might be, you know, the way that they can possibly come back in. Because again, you know, we talk about VP all the time. They are a younger squad. Sometimes, you know, you're really feeling yourself. You feel a little bit too... Oh my God, he just knew. There's no ward up there.
You're not allowed to split push. How dare
allowed to
you
do
find a
anything.
wave? Yeah, GPK's like, get back to your base like the rest of your team.
Yeah,
there we go.
There's the pop.
Bye-bye.
But, I mean, this is you know, with the Medusa, right, you want the fight kind of either coming to you or you want to just sit there and be able to just split shot, you know. Again, V2 trying the best he can. It has been a rough game. Having those stacks definitely help, but they need to get this initiation. You need to have Ramses find this Ravage, make something happen, and it's just been very difficult with the way that VP is playing.
Yeah, Ramsey, he's queued up the Blink Dagger now. He's identified the fact that we need to start a fight ourselves. We can't just be the ones waiting for them to go, because that long-range poke and prod of ENG, Voicebrite, and PA, it is too hard to deal with.
Again, it becomes saving Private Medusa over here. Everyone's just crowded around. They know that V2 is their win condition, that they have to get big and scary. And it's looking scary for them, though, as there is an Abyssal Blade picked up now for the PA.
Yeah, a slightly different build from the Enchantress as well. This game, so far from Pause for Enchantresses, we've seen map resistant tankiness going for Solar Crest.
Right.
But this time, Safe, he's just been a bit more greedy, just going for the Dragon Lance. It's DM the one who's actually going for the auras, so allowing for Enchantress to be a little bit more obnoxious in the fight. And I like the idea of Dragon Lance on this hero, because you have a new form of killing the egg. ENG can hit egg, PA with BKB if you blink in, and then just kind of reinitiate onto the egg. They have nice ways to deal with it.
Yeah, not the traditional egg scramblers by any means, but
Exactly.
solutions.
It's the decisive smoke for now. This next kills.
The Aegis does get reclaimed, though.
Yeah,
so.
and this is why they're smoking up. They realize they've timed the Aegis. They have a window to play into, but it's a smoke into then kind of awkward retreat. They're hoping that VP maybe pokes their head up into the tri-camp to punish.
Here you go, ENG creep. Just doing some scouting, seeing, you know, are these
Have a
camps
little
cleared? Look at him. He's
Oi,
a
lads.
jovial little boy.
Where you at? Not here, mate. All right.
Oi, Mum, I've got the vision.
Just want to gank
Oh,
it in it.
no. Oh, no.
Oh,
He's a forward. He has a... Oh.
Feels bad, man.
Doesn't feel bad if you're
Short but
a
great.
Navi fan. It's like, get him out of here. I don't want to see him. I don't want to see this vision. But, of course, Enchantress can just go and try herself another creature along the way, and...
Yeah, VP just showing the respect to Navi, because they're like, well, we understand that you have the big spells and you get to use them cleanly, and that's why we're not going to hold this high ground area, this tri-camp. This is quite a traditional spot to hold when you're in the lead. But if you don't have the team fight, it is truly hard to hold that without the perfect vision. So they give it up, they allow Navi to smoke out, but then instantly when they see them back in base defending from creep waves, they flood back through and remove any of that small advantage that Navi had in the kind of division game that we've been mentioning.
That was the Demon Edge for V2. That was taken out, and this is looking like a dead Ramses here, though. No, they just bring him right back. You're not going anywhere, Ramses. You're not allowed to leave unless it's in a body bag.
Godlike PA 9-0-6.
Who's the feeders on the side of VP right now?
It's kind of a team effort right now. You know, Ramsey's up
Disruptor
at
and
6.
Save, both of them. The feeders.
Yeah, unfortunately for Na'Vi, their kill score doesn't look great because they only have 2 kills as a team.
Yes.
So V2, Roger, and Ramses have had 0 kills and 0 assists this game. Sometimes this happens.
Sometimes it be like that.
Yeah, sometimes you don't get a Ravage off, you don't get an egg or a coil, and you don't get any kills. And now the game's a bit troublesome. Yeah, VP, they're so scared to go high ground. And that's where Na'Vi is their lifeline. The fact that we are not seeing VP ever pressure tier 3s, they're pressuring the lanes through pushing them out quickly, forcing Na'Vi to AFK in their base to defend the wave after wave and creep.
This is just going to keep happening to Iceberg, though, because he doesn't have anything defensive, but he needs to get farm, right? He needs to be able to step outside the base, try to make things happen, and it's just...
But because of this death top, it does allow bot to be a little bit more pushed out, and it's how quickly can BP go from killing in one lane to then instantly pressuring elsewhere, and they don't really have that kind of fluidity of play right now because, again, high ground is not in the question for VP. It's simply Roshan. They're waiting for Roshan, and maybe that's why Na'Vi, Iceberg, he's like, well, I can sacrifice myself a couple of times. As long as I'm not split pushing as Roshan is respawning, and then I die and they do a Roshan after buyback, they will be happy with kind of throwing themselves just to get at least some reaction to open up one lane to be farmed. Like, look at Roger in the bot lane. He's been able to push it out all the way from tier 3 down to about the tier 1 tower now. He's going to be a little bit happier soaking up some XP. And he will have Aether Lens most likely for the next fight. So the egg will always be able to go off with that, but procking.
I mean, that's a nice thing about, you know, having some ability over on the side of Na'Vi. You've got the Puck, who's able to be a bit elusive. You also have Roger, who's able to, you know, Icarus dive and kind of fly off the map using the sunrise. So you have some solutions. It's just, again, it's definitely, you know, the style of just choking out your opponent while you wait. And look at this. They've got a double damage rune here for Nightfall.
Ooh, and Roshan's respawning in 1 minute, so if they have...
Or is no... Hello?
Do they have a bottle available? Yeah, DPK giving it over to Nightfall. Therefore, DD will be available for the Roshan, and subsequently the fight after the Roshan as well, if Na'Vi is to contest.
It's going to be a hard Roche to contest.
And they have no Dispel on the side of Na'Vi either, so this will just be a DD in full effect the entire time.
That's scary.
Luckily for Na'Vi, though, they have the MKB complete on Medusa, one of the few forms of True Strike now of the game. If they surprise the PA, if they can get the right clicks from the Medusa, this PA should be able to fall pre-Aegis.
Safe, breaking them out. The Iceberg.
Nightfall, great positioning, already going up the view.
Oh, always on a flex. Gets absolutely obliterated here. Stone Gaze comes out. Everybody just runs away there.
That was a bit anticlimactic. You know, like the way in which you start the fight, I wanted like...
They're not done yet. They're going...
All right, there we go.
They're looking. They want this. Look, the Static Storm getting dropped. Aeon immediately getting crocked over here on Roger. Ramses is very, very far forward. The rest of the team is not there. Glimpse back over onto Ramses. The silence. They need to burst him, and they find very, very easily. Hit Light coming out. Egg over here on the side. It looks like attention to. They all just split. Who's just going to be able to support? They have no way of handling that.
No off available and start it on 50 seconds. Not the poke in this rock. It's crest on the it could actually be a good sign. Yeah. See through what you're just trying to find. This is a very small window right now for me to capitalize on this.
It's that hard trying to get any sort of information. Coming out and make something happen. They need to burst down Ramses. That's the big thing. Here's not thing. Going up. It's perfectly in. Keep jumping forward here. Can they get up this? I mean, well, but there's a Nightfall just going to send this not a left over here. Up this corner. Do this stuff. And they just go. Each should go for. She's next on the hit list. Is always one to flop. Go here. Oh, no. Oh, it's the triple kill there. Poor Night. GG called it had nothing.
Looks like someone disconnected.
This was there was no RP. To at least posture the Medusa will move into. So you think that she might be a little bit tankier. 100 to 0 in a matter of like 5 seconds. So yeah, Na'Vi never really able to get their draft online. Never really able to kind of cleanly get all the big
What you think about when you're born into a fire? Let them burn it out. Sell them to the richest buyer. They wanna let the world decay. They tell us lies and fade away, fade away. We feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race. Wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway. Listen up now, because we're never dropping out. Beat the odds, beat the big house. Our brains are bigger than the doubt. We've been thinking for ourselves, never let the truth fade away. This is bigger than ourselves, we won't let the world burn away, burn away. We feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race. Wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway. To blame, haters face the world's mistakes. Wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway. And we feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race. Wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway. To blame, haters face the world's mistakes. Wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway. You think you've got my number figured out? A motive born in drought and brevity. And if I'm not the soul of your design, I blatantly decline your remedy. Don't box me in, don't, or I'll leave. I'd rather be a dreamer, I'd rather be free, I'd rather be a leader, I'd rather be a queen, I'd rather be a singer in a trashy cover band. I'd rather be a closer, I'd rather be clean, I'd rather be a poser in a magazine, I'd rather be pretty much anything else than your machine. I wasn't always just a single shade, a palette full of gray in reverie. And I can burn it brighter than the sun. I have a golden gun inside of me. Don't box me in, don't, or I'll leave. I'd rather be a dreamer, I'd rather be free, I'd rather be a leader, I'd rather be a queen, I'd rather be a singer in a trashy cover band. I'd rather be a closer, I'd rather be clean, I'd rather be a poser in a magazine, I'd rather be pretty much anything else. And if I fall behind, I'd rather be a dreamer, I'd rather be free, I'd rather be a leader, I'd rather be a queen, I'd rather be a singer in a trashy cover band. I'd rather be a closer, I'd rather be clean, I'd rather be a poser in a magazine, I'd rather be pretty much anything else than your machine. It's plain and simple, dear. I'll still be here when you're gone. You gather souvenirs, but I will never be your pawn. Your pawn. Your pawn. My love was in ever again. I lay with cards out on the table. There's nothing to gamble away, but I can promise that you'll never be the same. But I can promise that you'll never be the same. You can double down. I'll still be a proud haven for your love is never love. A river through your bluff, I will be enough, enough, enough. My love was in ever again. I lay with cards out on the table. There's nothing to gamble away, but I can promise that you'll never be the same. Something you can never take, but it's not uncommon to forsake. Got a chronic urge to complicate. Think of love like a friend, not an enemy. Feeling I have nothing left to hide. I'll say what you know it when it's right. Keep it simple now, living it before I die. Think of love like a friend,
Right.
not an enemy.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team's turn to pick. Radiant team's turn to pick.
Lion.
Radiant team's turn to pick.
Can you draft too much
10
team
seconds remaining.
fight? Navi certainly showed the answer is a clear yes.
5
Yes, you
seconds remaining.
can.
Team's turn to
So, we gotta
Enchantress.
scale back a little bit, see if we can get a lineup that is more capable of finding someone like Virtus Pro in their
Dire team's
faster
turn to
style.
ban.
I wasn't done criticizing them either, Kevin.
Okay, have at
Always
it.
wanna fly. on
Yeah.
a 5 position Lena. We were talking about how good this Lena Tide lane is going to be. They take him off his signature hero Phoenix to put it as 4 and just squander that offlane advantage we figured they would have from that incredible laning duo that they
10
opened with.
seconds remaining.
What?
Okay.
Yeah, I just said so much about last game during the previous panel that I
5
don't have
seconds
any more to
remaining.
say.
Wow, that's great, Brian.
And they have gone.
Imagine you have to be on 10-minute panels instead of 3-minute
Yeah,
panels.
I do. I just had so much to say.
All right. It seems like Na'Vi, very different approach going into game 2. They said,
Radiant
all right,
team
B-Tune, we couldn't get you the right hero last pick after, what was it, 5 different heroes for a band away for you. Let's go ahead and grab your hero early, my friend.
Hey, I've been preaching Mag since like week 1 of DPC, dude.
Yeah?
I just want to say right now, I believe this hero is going to
10
eventually
seconds
get
remaining.
like first round picked and banned in like half the series we watch. You have to
5
have a Mag
seconds
player.
remaining.
Stop. Mag is not a hero you can just casually pick up and execute the fancy plays we saw DM doing there. But he's a free Battle Fury. Battle Fury got nerfed. A lot of the carries that are popular right now are heroes with like innate blinks like PA or innate mobility, and they just a
Dire
farming
team
tool to
ban.
accelerate them. That's what they want.
You're
There it is.
Don't forget to be humble.
I'm just saying, like, it's weird. Like Dota has like thousands, millions of different interpretations of what's good and what works. And I just saw the patch and I'm like, I think Mag, like, he's now offering a
10
tool
seconds
nobody
remaining.
wants to buy.
It's also just easy damage manipulation. That's
5
why we see
seconds
ET
remaining.
first to it as well. Wisp is another.
Yeah, ET is a hero
Solar
that
Crest, the best item.
Radiant
in the
makes
patch.
so many
Turn to
heroes
ban.
that weren't good before in the
Snap-
game itself. good.
Snapfire with a medallion rush, little shredder. You just make heroes better. Their damage becomes burst because of minus armor, and in Mag's case, damage buff.
Now PL is quite broken at 7.29's start, but they have nerfed him
10 seconds
quite
remaining.
significantly since then. They've nerfed his base armor, his base damage, and
5
as well as
seconds
his
remaining.
shard cast range and radius bounce and damage
Damn.
on that. So
That's a lot.
They nerfed a lot of PL. The hero's weakness has always been getting off the ground, so they made it more difficult. He does match up decently against the 2 heroes that VP has shown thus far, but I've realized on Doom, you just don't really care about PL in the laning phase. So you go like an early bracer phase boots, and then, or you could even like go the ring of health that a lot of dudes are going, and then you just push
Dire
your
team
scorched
ban.
earth and you free farm. So even though PL is going to have a decent time, you're not really like shutting down the Doom. So then if Virtus Pro picks a Juggernaut or
Leshrac.
Leshrac, either it could be a carry or a mid, just some mid gamer with a lot of damage to deal with you on the PL, they're just going to outpay you. And I'm
Yep.
pretty
10
sure that's
seconds
exactly what
remaining.
VP is going to do here.
It just doesn't, carries often do get
5
first
seconds
pick,
remaining.
or first
Radiant
two
team's
rather.
turn to ban.
But I don't think PL is in that same category or tier as say the life stealers and the jugs. So you can't adapt the same way. Ultimately, if your illusions are easily dealt with, and cleared in the middle of an
Radiant team's
engagement,
turn to pick.
you don't
Dire
have
team's turn
that,
to pick.
diffusal Sannyasha heart. Like, we go win the game now. If that doesn't exist, the hero does not feel very good. An immediate puck from VP.
Interesting puck pick, though. I don't think it's as good against PL as it used to be because of the SNY. You can just buy that to deal with the coil. But then they also have the Lion. So it's not like a bad pick. It just
10
doesn't
seconds
necessarily
remaining.
scream, wow.
I think it's fine. You're going to find the
5
lion.
seconds
You
remaining.
have Doom, who's going to just walk in front of you. I expect him to pick another very aggressive hero.
Let me say, I played Enchantress against Phantom Lancer yesterday, and I remember Liquid Taiga
Radiant
playing
team's
4
turn to
position
pick.
Enchantress, and he got, some hats and Glimmer Cape and a Solar Crest, and I remember that he was able to frontline really well,
Yep.
even against PL.
They both
And I was like,
untouchable.
wow, that was really good. I'm going to be like that. Let me just say, I wasn't Taiga at all. I found that
Sorry,
Phantom
Cap,
Rush.
but you
10
are not
seconds
Taiga.
remaining.
No, I'm
Just
not.
wanted
Not
to let
even
you know.
close to it. But I found Phantom Rush actually
5 seconds
kind of, in
remaining.
some ways, does counter untouchable if you're not over the peak,
Yeah.
right? Because he's
It's
just
40 agility.
yeah, he's actually able to kind of cut through that in
PL
some ways.
PL has a good win rate if you check out like Dota buff against Enchantress, but I think it's changed the way that people itemize. When Taiga's buying a couple of fluffy hats,
If it's a 4-position inch that's getting some items,
Yeah.
it's quite
Yeah.
different than a 5
I was a 5 position
Yeah, it's very
edge, so,
different.
Yeah,
I'll
then you
forgive
just
myself. And
nothing.
Because like you
really
said,
do
you
there.
have to hit that critical threshold, right?
tried to be Taiga, but I ended up in Sania.
Yeah.
It's okay. Happens to the best of us.
They do it for this Crystal Maiden, which in theory is nice. It goes well with PL and lane. You have a range secure. You have a way to deal with the Enchantress creep. But CM hasn't really seen much play this patch, and I think for good
Dire
reason.
team's turn to pick.
She just kind of dies. I know that's like a lot of patches,
Wow,
but
what? AA is really odd. Sorry to interrupt, but PL typically does quite nicely, and yeah, they go.
I honestly like Navi's draft way more this game than I like VP's.
Yeah, definitely. The AA is just odd. It's great to boost the puck damage, but it's very awkward. It doesn't really scream fourth pick AA. Like, you could have gotten a much
10
better
seconds
matchup for
remaining.
your
There isn't a
support
core that you're like, that guy's gonna get ice blasted.
here. Yeah.
5
Yeah,
seconds
PL
remaining.
tentatively can dodge the ice blast, Storm as well.
It's also because the typical
Radiant
heroes
team
pick
banned.
with AA are Sven, which is of course
Fire
banned
team
out because
banned.
Navi first two'd PL. The others are really Wraith King and Chaos Knight, both of which have a terrible time dealing
Radiant
against PL
team
and his
banned.
Illusion Army.
Yeah, they already. But the other option is the Void of the Faceless.
That's true. It's a pretty good Void game.
I think that's the only carry left in the
Great,
pool
they're
for
back.
VP that's even reasonable here.
Are you scared at all
10
of
seconds
Storm
remaining.
plus Lion?
I mean, that's every carry.
Yeah.
I don't think you can
that's
really
5 seconds
like pick a
remaining.
carry that's
Yeah.
not going to die to that. Faceless Void's pretty decent just because you can buy early SNY on that hero. You can go like Maelstrom SNY.
Dire
Or
team's
like
turn to pick.
Mask of Madness SNY Maelstrom. I don't know. I've learned when you have a hero or heroes on the opponent team that threaten you a lot as a carry, you just want to pick like something that reliably threatens them as well in tandem with your lineup. Probably the best setup for a blast in the entire game.
What's the Ramses hero now?
10 seconds remaining.
Axe seems a bit grim. Could see an Underlord come out, but
5
I'd
seconds
love
remaining.
to see him play something that like kills things. I want Ramses on a hero he's allowed to play more aggressive on. It's a bit awkward. I'm a huge fan of Nature's Prophet in conjunction with the PL, but nobody believes in that hero anymore, so.
I'd honestly be down for like a Beastmaster as well. I know they have
Ooh.
Enchantress, but you're pretty much locked in the AA being 5 position.
Radiant team's turn to pick.
That's a spicy meatball.
They just did it.
You're not
only-
picking Faceless Void anymore.
Yeah, exactly. The only danger now, though, is that PL Brood both lose the same thing, right? If you can clear the Spider Army, you're gonna have troubles
But they
with
can't.
the PL. But yeah, to your point, that AA now just looks exposed. Same with the ENG. Like,
Sven's
these
already
heroes
banned.
cannot play. They cannot play Dota. Last pick
5
Meatball
seconds
is
remaining.
the pick for VP. If they can't play it, they're gonna be in trouble.
I can honestly understand why you'd say Meepo.
Can you do like one Doom and then pick an offlaner that gives you a better option against Brood, Axes,
No, 'cause
Tides, anything
you're-
like
Dude, let's go Manta carry Axe right now. That's
Yeah.
actually the play. I'm not even memeing.
Okay,
Bristleback's the other option.
The problem with Bristle is you
Yeah,
can't
Bristle.
catch the heroes, and you
Right.
end up getting oomed like we saw in that decisive game 4, OG versus Nigma. And the
Yeah, I'm talking purely. You have to survive
Meepo
this
has
lane, though.
offensive power to kill all 3 cores and clear the map.
Unit also has offensive power.
What?
Axe with a Manta and a Blink there.
No. No.
You actually kill these cores.
Don't forget the shard.
No.
Well, I mean, the shard is assumed. That's the only
course,
reason the
yeah,
build
right.
like freaking works.
Choose your
Eh,
hero.
I mean, it deals with Brood somewhat. You had the Whirling Axe mischance, but
The Phantom Monster somewhat.
last game I thought VP could not lose the draft they had. I think we have seen that Na'Vi is not as good of a team, but I do believe they have way better tools. I think they've gone back to their roots of V-Tune's hero first round,
Yeah.
protected with some bans, get that Ramses last pick, a little bit of cheese action, a little bit of perfect pick for the game. I like Navi's chances here. a
Love
lot
it
more.
as well. GPK puck. That's the answer. That's how VP would win the game. That's why you have AA. Vortex into a puck combo. Spiders do not have nearly as much magic resist as they did in previous patches, so you will blow them up. GPK can't die. Like, he's just got to own this game. DM gets unstoppable. Eventually, your troll's going to carry the game, but it's definitely harder. I would agree. Like, Na'Vi, you're in a and they're on more comfortable core heroes. I think it's a way better lineup for them.
Yeah, I think the important thing about killing spiders is they like even more so now is because Silken Bola, right?
Yeah,
It
the
adds
the
the
damage.
damage based off this. So if you kill the spiders, then a lot of his offensive threat goes away, but they just don't
Does
have
it stack?
a lot of answers in that regard.
Does that damage stack? Like, is it each spider does an extra 8 damage?
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
that's how that works.
That's why I died so fast.
Yeah, that's why Ancient Apparition, that guy at the bottom of the screen, He's going to have a rough one. All right, let's see if Na'Vi can actually do it. See if they can even out the series against Virtus Pro. We've got Moxie, we've got Robson, we've got a good...
Well, I believe Mother's Day for the U.S. anyways isn't until next week, but it could be Mother's Day today, coming out with this draft that Navi's got playing. How do you feel about this Brood pickup, T?
I mean, I'm excited to see a Brood. Like, it's been banned out quite a lot where you know that a team has a Brood specialist, especially in the Western European division, and we finally get to see one. I've been doing a little bit of research, and Ramses, he plays the Brood a little bit differently. He's a bit more of an aura buyer. In the games that he played so far, fun fact, Ramses has like 6 accounts. 5 Smurfs and a main. So I had to dive deep into Smurf number 5 to find this. But yeah, he's been buying like Pipe, Solar Crest, Mech. So it's a bit more of a utility style offlane Brood. And that's kind of what they're missing in their draft, was that kind of front line. So you're going to have this annoying lane pressure hero, very right click orientated, building quickly, potentially, if he does that this game, into an aura buyer hero. So don't expect the Brood to be the classic Brood that we saw many patches ago. Unless everything he done in his pub was a meme and he's got a new idea for this game.
And he was just like let's mess with T Governor today.
Please don't, Ramses. Thanks, mate.
It's cheeky. I feel like you would do that.
Yeah, mate. Yeah, 4 games. He lost 3 of them, only won 1. So not the most successful of pub Brood players. And then let's talk about VP. This Troll Warlord, the reaction pick to the Brood. I don't mind it for the idea of Brood is now all about the right clicks in laning phase, and your entry to the game pre-6 is heavily dependent on your ability to actually hit creeps like a normal hero. You're not old style Brood throwing out these little spider balls where you're like, oh, hey, I got a whole spider army to play around. So yeah, I don't mind the troll pick for that idea. And of course, EL, you do have the ability to itemize it with him, and the whirling axes can be okay. So yeah, VP, all about pace and fight. Na'Vi, it's about getting this Brood to being that tanky hero that it wants to become, get through laning phase, and then the annoyance of playing into a late game PL, Storm, and then the skinniness of a Brood running in and out of her webs.
I don't know how I feel about this, though. I feel like Na'Vi do this like fairly frequently, right? They try to just get this specific timing on one of their heroes to make space for the other one, but VP, I feel a lot of the times they all work for a similar timing with their draft. So is this necessarily the way to play this? Is this too much of a gamble, especially against a team like VP?
I don't mind it in the idea they have so many cores that it's not like the free Doom game, right? It's not 4 Protect 1. Realistically, you kind of want to do in the Storm, but then you kind of also want to do in the PL, and now it happens if this new age Brood mother that no team truly understands has timings that no one gets, and that's the thing. Like, we've not really seen this hero at all, and I'm excited to see how Brood is actually played from the off lane. What type of game plan are we going to see from Na'Vi? Is it going to be we just absorb the enemy jungle, have a sea of webs everywhere, and now we just get to slowly take over the map? Or is it a bit more fast-paced, where the Brood's actually relocating around the map, applying pressure from just putting down these webs and being a little more active because you have the auras? And yeah, it's going to be an interesting game. It has the ability to be a great game from Na'Vi, or it could be a quick whitewash because they haven't gone online, because the puck is moving around, coiling PL, coiling Storm, Brood stuck in the side lane with no webs to move around. So yeah, this is eyeing up to be hopefully a really competitive game. If they truly understand the Brood, that is, Moxie.
That is true. If we could figure out the Brood too, because, generally speaking, you see a Brood mother in the game and they just like to park themselves in one lane, continuously push. But now that, you don't have the spiderlings accumulating super early. In fact, top lane already, this harass over on Ramses feels a little rough to have to deal with, considering that he is, of course, the one that's going to have to be the enabler.
Yeah, just like all things, it will be a hard start, but then it'll soon transition into being very, very solid for the Brood, very independent, probably skipping behind the tower and kind of emulating the play that a Centaur on Axe brings, which is, I can never really chase him down, let him just free farm the jungle on the lane.
Hilarious.
This is looking rough here. Not a lot of mana here as Nightfall tries to get off into the... It's one more hit.
One more.
No, Ramses is going to be allowed to live here, but...
Honestly, I think dying probably would have felt better now. You're a Brood mother with no regen. DM also gets burst blood. With the level 2 Scorched Earth that damaged the rundown. Yeah, poor old PL. He's to die.
PL indeed.
I believe he got body blocked by the creep of save with the DM Doom having the Scorched Earth as well.
Yeah, if you're Ramses right now, you feel pretty badly because, you know,
Yeah.
at least you come back to lane with full mana, full health, and
Here we go.
gonna try to munch down on this creep. There we go. You know, a little bit of staying powder, but
That was one creep, and he went from like near nothing to near full. Like, that's kind of absurd that you get that much lifesteal from a single spell. 70% lifesteal, and you get 35 bonus damage. Yeah, this is, yeah, Brood is
I guess Radiant
Pretty
fortified
good
their
here.
structure.
in the game.
yeah, just poking a little bit here in the mid lane. But yeah, the top lane, it's a little difficult, right? Especially, you know, when you've got a Crystal Maiden, there's only so much you can do. And she's also using that Frostbite, trying to get rid of the creeps here. So you don't necessarily have it up to try to, you know, hold someone in place and let, you know, your core escape.
Yeah, I haven't mentioned it yet, but the thing I did AA, especially when you know there's a fault in the game, because you have this ability to play around production. Nine, he's a pesky hero that pokes and prods, and A has that advantage. Same here with Save, as he pokes and prods, always want to fly. It's a reminder, it's the same as game one, right?
Yeah.
The Lina, the CM, these heroes, they can't play into its Enchantress, which has that free hero creep plus the impetus and the right clicks. And Sim kind of can if you root up the creep, then you still can't deal with the right clicks of the Enchantress.
The slow deaths are the most painful, and that was a very slow death for the Crystal Maiden. It's difficult to figure out, you know, the exact positioning that this Crystal Maiden needs, and what her role is kind of in this lane. Because traditionally, again, you want to be able to get rid of these creeps, but if you do that, then you're just going to get run down, or your core is going to get run down. And look at this. They rotate up Roger now.
They're trying. This is the worst thing right now. They've rotated the support up to top, whilst the lane is already so favored towards DM. There is no small camp to pull. There is no hard camp to pull unless if DM contest it as well. Yeah, DM's gonna be happy. Ench is now just farming the jungle. And Nightfall bottom, he's just free farming. If Ramses ever pokes his head out, he can't play there. And this is, I think, what the strength of the troll here is an independent carry that doesn't really need assistance. But if assistant comes in, it's kill threat all throughout time. And now, yeah, Ramses, he's trying to poke and prod, but it doesn't feel good right now. If you compare the Doom to the Brood lane, Doom is self-sufficient, enjoying, has presence. He might be dying here, though. He does step up a little bit in the top lane.
It's going to be frostbitten into place, hexed up as well. Well, this could work out. Oh, he's so fast, though.
The courier just delivered the phase, and then he has 7 stick. And the courier delivering the salve as well. A couple all chats just to seal the deal to Na'Vi.
I mean, they did gamble, and they did indeed lose.
And if he was feeling cheeky, he could have thrown a tip out, but alas.
Yes, I do know that you're big on the tip game there, but...
Yeah, I mean, like, if I was DM there, you'd be tipping Ramses, because you know that you're the flaner having more impact. You're drawing 3 heroes to your lane, you're being obnoxious, and you're getting the value from your presence. And Ramses, though, he's not. So, yeah, if you went for psychological damage, DM tip to Ramses, that would have been like S tier.
Oh dear, Ramses drops those charges. One more hit, and Kingslayer. This should be the other way around. I feel like, you know, Ramses should be the one who's playing on Kingslayer.
Yeah, unfortunately, he can't because he's a melee hero. It's all about right-click damage in the troll. Works one.
Oil in the mid lane. It's a good spike here from Roger, but it doesn't matter because GPK, he's hungry. He wants this hit. You get the frostbite off, though, here on GPK.
Where are you going?
All these hits here coming out from Save. Will slow down Always Want to Fly. The orb coming forward. There it is. The vision, the impetus. Down goes Always Want to Fly. And we have gotten the kill in this mid lane and forced the storm back. So I think VP's very happy with this.
Yeah, for sure. This is Enchantress is freed up to make these plays. Doom is independent, and if you look at bot lane as well, you have just AA non-stop pulling. Kingslayer just his own game. He's going to be nearly level 5 at minute 7, unlocking a quick 6 pre-10, which means global presence now.
Well, the Doom gets used over here on the Phantom Lancer, plus the slow coming up from Save, but Iceberg is here, so they should be able to turn this around. They'll get the kill over on Save, and now DM is forced back. Phantom Lancer should be all right here. That is the first Doom. They're waiting nearby just in case. He's all right here. They do have the vision, though, as they huddled around that ward. Now, my question for you, because, again, the Brood Mother pick. How important is this here that Ramses, you know, is not getting farm?
The main thing here is Ramses wants level.
Right.
When he gets 6, can then move his webs behind the tower, start building up Spider Army, and then just farm jungle and kind of thrive in that position. But VP has done a really good job. Every time he pokes his head, instantly AA throwing, you know, all the spells at him, the chilling touch, the cold feet, the whirling axes from the troll, and he's getting pressured. And I think, yeah, VP has done a really good job at just preventing Ramses having much of a game. That top rotation though, from VP, even though Doom was wasted, it didn't feel that bad, just because Storm did have to use most of his mana get it back. I thought the last or if you took position and ran all the he would feel too comfortable, and that's where the net worth leads occurring right now, because VP are not the ones who've been moving around the map in their cores, and it allows them just to maximize their farm. Compared to Na'Vi, this Storm, he's kind of pinging around the map. Obviously, Brood's not having a game, and yeah, VP are doing a really good job at just getting the most out of their lanes, just through the rotations of the supports and forcing out these kind of weaker TPs from the side of Na'Vi.
The push is on here in the top area. They've got themselves a Centaur, and they're going to try to apply a little bit of pressure. You've got the two supports over here trying to just kind of leech, trying to get anything that they can. Obviously, you know, V2 doesn't really want to be there anymore. But this is happening yet again here. Rems, he just pokes his head forward, and immediately the aggression coming out from VP just punishes him.
Yeah, he just wants to hit the creep.
Always want to fly. There's always going to be killing when you've got these two.
Considerations, Crystal Maiden. And these type of games, and the pace is already gone, and the construct of like the laning phase is already broken down. Playing these kind of squishier, slower heroes, yeah, it just feels so hard. So yeah, I'm probably gonna die another like 11 times this game.
Yeah, we've all been there. All the court players, we know that feeling. But they do smoke up over here on the side of Navi.
This is a nice idea from Na'Vi, because Rarity's, putting it bluntly, has low-key been feeling the last couple of minutes. And now you bait up the guy who's kind of been dying. If they go on him, you get a kill. I take it back. All right, no, that never happened. Okay, bad rotation.
Well, they have wards here. I mean, they were smoked up, to be fair.
Yes,
but I mean,
I think that type of play, it works with a bit more patience. Allow Ramses to play the lane, poke and prod. But of course, Iceberg, he's not going to be comfortable not fighting again. Like, he just moved top, didn't hit crits, got an edge kill. He then moves bottom, unless he gets a quick kill back to jungle, he's not going to be happy. Like, his net worth 4k. Compare that to the Puck, who's already now 4.5k. A little bit of a lead growing for the Puck. A hero that hasn't really had to move right now. And now this is where the Brood is a happy little chap. And I think that's why VP were trying so hard to delay this. This easily could have been minute 8, minute 7. Brood had a better game, but you can't play this lane anymore. The webs, the spiderlings, it's a dead lane for VP.
do you mind too much if you're VP here? Because you're putting pressure over on the middle tower. You want the top towers up here. You've already taken it, obviously, on the side of the Dire. That's, you know, the Roche side of the map. That's the more important side when you want to be playing fast.
Yeah, I think VP in an interview, when they said about playing against techies, it's like play quick, play fast. And I think they're probably going to emulate that style against a Brood. Because in theory, Brood is the same type of hero as the techies, right? It's about playing a certain area of the map for a long period of time, removing it from your opponent, and having like the strategic advantage of we occupy this area. And right now, VP's gone, all right, cool, Brood, good job. You took that safe lane tier 1. Your webs are down there. You know, you got like 6 webs in this area. How are you going to get to top suddenly and stop us playing as 5 heroes? You're not. Your hero isn't built for just quick objective pressure. So VP, they play around this 5.7k net worth Doom. They have the Alpha Wall from the Enchantress. This Troll Warlord with only, you know, a couple items, soon to be Battle Fury. He's already taken the tier 2. So VP identified very quickly the weaknesses of Na'Vi's lineup. The Brood didn't have a good start to the game. PL has to AFK jungle, and Storm has no one to play with kills. It's going to be a rough period of time if VP keep moving from objective to objective.
Smoke up over on the side of Na'Vi, hoping that they can get the jump on someone. This is going to require to have a lot of chain stuns, though. As you can see, it's safe. Very far forward here. We'll break over an Iceberg.
Really nice positioning. This tree line now is so nice. If you get in there quick with a wall, you instantly break the smoke, and now they're going to be kind of running around this. Oh, where are they? Where are they? And suddenly you're out of position for a coil. So Na'Vi instantly disengaged from the area, except that the smoke didn't work. And unfortunately for Na'Vi, it's under the theme of the series so far. Smokes that just were a little bit underwhelming, or you're finding supports. Game 1, they found a Disruptor. Game 2, they find Edge.
And now they'll find themselves a Storm Spirit. I think he should be able to zip out, though. Yes. Very, very close, though. I'm sure that feels very bad. Although they turn back around, they get the finger off over onto Kingslayer. Save, though, jumping in. Wants to get the damage off over onto Roger. The silence getting used over here on Crystal Maiden. One more head down will go the Maiden. And now Roger running for his life. But this from long range. Ooh, but he has those charges. Yeah, right. He's going to be a liver.
Yeah, that's the mini-map right now. The amount of pressure VP are applying with just positioning and the aggressive farm they have, Brood is occupying the bottom part of the jungle. You have Storm putting a small camp together at minute 13. This is just how uncomfortable it is to be Na'Vi. It's greed. You have a really nice idea for getting to mid to late game annoyance, but getting there, that is what VP is not allowing Na'Vi access to the game. You want to hit jungle camps, you're going to have to double stack farm them together, and yeah, that's about it. Go hold hands and farm one tri-camp. It's, yeah, really clinical stuff from VP. Pressure and greed.
We got a Blink Dagger coming out now for DM, which means Ramses has to be even more careful because otherwise he's going to have a big old Doom running at his face here. Does have quite a nice little spider army though, and has been trying to put the pressure down. I think it's kind of interesting though. We talked about GPK popping off on this pump, and hold that thought there. Dream Coil silence. GPK followed up here with the save. They're gonna target the Ice Blast, and this goes out. Roger falling here. Is out of mana and always want to fly. His mana creator is of course dead, so he is forced away. You know, that double damage. It felt exciting. Felt like they could get something done here.
Yeah, a bit of an ambitious play from Na'Vi, really trying just to get Puck if he wasn't looking, maybe. The god, maybe he was shopping at the time Storm zipped in, but yeah, they tried their best to kind of jump the Puck, and you know, when you're zipping in daytime onto a Puck, he's going to be able to change it around, and Roger just couldn't really get spells off either. So yeah, Na'Vi just a little bit desperate moves here.
Dire's middle tower just
VP now taking the tier 2 at minute 14. 4 towers have fallen. They actually have itemized for a Solar Crest, which is a little bit kind of against the patch. Going a bit greedy over the Vanguard so you can actually frontline, instant link to jump the PL or the Storm. Additionally, with Edge 4s, they're the ones that buy the Solar Crest if the offlaner can't. But we've seen in game 1, now game 2 save, he's a bit more greedy with his Enchantress. He has to be a bit of a damage dealer going for the Dragonlance now 2 games in a row.
Some of those top tier 2s going down 11-27.
Damn, that was so close to being number 1.
Very close. It's number 2.
He's got number 1 though, but again, we'll give it to VP. Solid in second place.
Is that how you coach? You're just like,
Not much
you sound like the...
Always room for improvement, Moxie.
All right.
But the question is, maybe they have the best time for tier 2s taken and then Roshan after.
That could be it too. I want to see those stats there, JJ. Pop those up on there.
I don't think that's easily accessible.
I don't think so either. I'm just, you know, it's a casting is a, you know, duo support sort of thing,
Yeah.
you know. I'm supporting my co-cast here, but yeah, this Roshan just go. It doesn't matter. They don't need a Solar Cross here.
It's impressive stuff from VP, honestly. I think they identify greed really well and how to maneuver around kind of the weaknesses of how greed comes into play. In Dota, greed comes in different forms. Like sometimes you need to go a bit more. Sometimes you need to kind of sit in the dead lane for a little bit longer. Yeah, VP have just a really good job of just opening up the map for themselves.
Are they going to try to make a play here on Kingslayer? They smoked up behind him. Oh, look at this. There it is. The figure. The Ice Blast is already out, though, and they get the kill on the Storm. They haven't managed to take down the AA. Kingslayer at the last second there. Ice versus Octo. Want to fly will be able to get the kill, but he'll pay for it with his life. Ramses is just, God, please don't look over here. And they're not, because they're putting damage on three's top.
Yeah, and Ramsey's going for the build that I assumed he'd go for based off of his pump performance so far. He does have the pipe complete, looking at then maybe going for a mech after. He has map boots right now. So it's not like Ramsey's going to have some big impact with a surprise. I've got the Orchid or something.
Not much good's happening to
That
Radiant's
was
bottom
a
tower.
bit strange here coming out from Ramsey. Start channeling and then dip the whip and start channeling again.
Just teasing
now, I mean, is it really teasing if you've got all these other heroes hot on your heels here when they get off the Doom? This is going to be a dead brood mother.
I mean, he's juked and jived. He went up, he went down, and then suddenly, that's all it's to do.
Oh, I guess not.
I need some help.
Wait, I think it's funny.
They found Ramses and save will.
He nearly did it.
Almost.
He was afraid that GPK was going to scout out with the orb, and of course he's like, maybe I've made the save, but unfortunately for him, a little bit of impatience, and bam, VP capitalized on once again. Yet to see if they really have entry to the game. Flurry of tips coming out. King's tipping V-Tune just for a bit of fun. DM then supporting save. Doing a good job on the edge, you little greedy Bambi with your Dragonlance.
Yes, I'm sure that's exactly what he was saying with that.
I can feel the tips. I understand, yes.
All right.
Tip connoisseur, some would say,
I see,
yes.
I see. Interesting.
Again, I still feel the 5-head tip is tipping the guy that was not ever involved in engagement. just because hey,
We've seen that a couple times now,
it's
actually.
it's
Dire's bottom tower is being chipped away. Dire's structures are fortified.
you
Radiant structures have been
Remember,
snow
it's
fortified.
a bad one of the games.
Dire's
Just
bottom tower is under
at the
attack.
time, and
Tip
then
it.
yeah. But look at this tower. It's just
Radiant's top tower is under
Getting
attack.
chunk.
Dire's bottom tower is
Look at
being chipped away.
down there.
Oh.
Yeah.
Look at that. Building damage live update as well, at 4.9k. To be fair though, Ramsey is
Just as
number
much
one
help as bottom.
the dire side for building damage.
Because no one else has hit.
Radiant's top tower has looked better.
And he's doing that you do here in this
Exactly.
game. I don't think you can pick something like this against VP.
It's trouble right now, and I think the minimap is the most telling thing about a Broodmother. When have and you lose top lane,
just got
you
killed.
can't the game. You lose mid lane again. You can't relocate that quickly. So because Na'Vi wasn't able to dictate where VP have to play, it does feel like a 4v5 game right now. And finally, we get to see Ramses appear in a fight where he tickles the edge for 1 second and goes, sorry.
Did you see it was like a little like but just like baby that was snack for me, but I mean
Great
they
coil.
popping it up with the coil. They go ice takes an ice right now. Ramses is forced to just run out as they have all damage to just squash the spot and turn back around and slay a maiden.
I honestly thought the series would be a little bit closer. Na'Vi, after the start of the DPC run, looked tricky, but then they quickly found some form. Again, it was off the back of 4 games of where VP was able to just really show off the strength of the hero. We get to see a little bit of a heat back from Broodmother.
Oh, Roger.
Na'Vi 1 by 1
And
die.
on the back line, there's the Doom. Phantom Lance. He literally can't do anything here. It's chased down. Dia finds a kill. They get the vortex. It's just, oof.
Okay. Very supportive tip. It's really, there it is.
There it
There's
is.
GG.
They've had enough.
Yeah, I think Na'Vi just realised when diving the base at minute 20, getting kill after kill, and the carry deleted from the game from this good old spell called Doom. It's to be unwinnable. And yeah, Na'Vi, they tried to be a little bit creative with the Brood pick, but unfortunately, I think any other carry in that scenario to be a bit more active could maybe played with the Storm, like Storm plus active carry into the Brood lane, completely different story. But when you have P
My love was in ever again. And they were cards out on the table. There's nothing to gamble away. But I can promise that you'll never be the same. But I can promise that you'll never be the same.
different